Today, we're diving into one of the most sobering topics in history, the 10 most devastating disasters in China. From natural calamities to man-made tragedies, China has experienced some of the most catastrophic events of the world. These disasters have shaped the nation's history, leaving lasting impacts on its people and infrastructure. Before we begin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon for more incredible content. Let's get started. 1. The 1931 Yangtze River Floods. The 1931 Yangtze River floods are considered one of the deadliest natural disasters in history, with estimates of the death toll ranging from 1 million to 4 million people. A combination of excessive rainfall, snowmelt, and a series of intense storms caused the Yangtze River, along with other major rivers like the Yellow River and White River, to overflow, submerging vast swaths of land. The floods devastated large parts of China's eastern and central regions, leaving millions homeless and in dire need of food and shelter. This disaster also led to a massive loss of life due to drowning, disease, and famine. The aftermath of the floods prompted changes in flood management and disaster preparedness. Today, China remains highly vulnerable to such natural disasters, but this catastrophic event taught the importance of infrastructure and early warning systems. 2. The 1976 Tangshan earthquake. On July 28, 1976, a magnitude 7.5 earthquake struck Tangshan, a major industrial city in northeastern China. The earthquake completely destroyed the city, killing an estimated 242,000 people. Tens of thousands more were injured, and millions were left homeless. The devastation was so severe that the Chinese government was initially slow to respond due to the scale of the disaster. The earthquake highlighted weaknesses in China's earthquake preparedness and building structures. Since then, China has invested heavily in earthquake-resistant infrastructure, improved monitoring systems, and disaster response strategies. The Tangshan earthquake remains one of the deadliest earthquakes in the 20th century and has had a lasting impact on Chinese society. 3. The 2008 Sichuan earthquake. On May 12, 2008, the Sichuan province was hit by a powerful earthquake measuring 7.9 on the Richter scale. The earthquake, which struck just before noon, caused widespread destruction in Chengdu and surrounding areas. Over 87,000 people were confirmed dead, with thousands more injured and millions displaced. The quake also caused landslides, and the collapse of buildings and infrastructure exacerbated the human toll. This disaster spurred a massive national and international relief effort. The Chinese government, alongside many international organizations, worked tirelessly to provide aid and rebuild the affected areas. The Sichuan earthquake prompted significant changes in building codes and disaster response strategies, further improving China's preparedness for such disasters. 4. The 1556 Shaanxi earthquake. One of the earliest recorded earthquakes in China, the 1556 Shaanxi earthquake remains the deadliest earthquake in recorded history. This catastrophic event, which struck the northern region of China, had an estimated magnitude of 8.0. The earthquake killed an estimated 830,000 people and caused extensive damage to the city of Xi'an and the surrounding region. The massive loss of life was due to the collapse of homes, most of which were made from mud bricks, and the ensuing landslides that buried entire communities. Despite the lack of modern seismic detection and warning systems, the Shaanxi earthquake's historical significance cannot be overstated. Its impact is still felt today, as it marked a turning point in the study of seismic activity and its effects on human societies. 5. The 1991 Wujing chemical explosion. On April 16, 1991, a massive explosion at a chemical plant in Wujing, near Shanghai, resulted in one of the deadliest industrial disasters in China's history. The explosion claimed the lives of over 300 people, injured more than 1,000, and left thousands of others in the surrounding areas affected by toxic chemicals and fires. The explosion was caused by the mishandling of hazardous chemicals at the factory, which was producing dangerous materials without proper safety measures. The Wujing chemical explosion raised awareness about industrial safety regulations in China, leading to improvements in worker protection and industrial standards. However, such disasters continue to challenge the nation's industrial development, often resulting in loss of life and environmental degradation. 6. The 1949 Chinese Civil War Famine. The 1949 Chinese Civil War famine resulted from a combination of warfare, agricultural collapse, and political instability. The Chinese Civil War had led to widespread destruction, and food production in many regions was severely impacted. Millions of people faced starvation as access to food became scarce, particularly in areas affected by conflict. Estimates suggest that up to 3 million people died as a result of the famine. In addition to food shortages, poor transportation infrastructure and government inefficiency worsened the crisis. This disaster underscored the vulnerability of China's agricultural sector and highlighted the need for better disaster management and economic planning. 7. The 2014 Tianjin explosions. On August 12, 2015, a series of deadly explosions occurred at a chemical warehouse in Tianjin, a major port city in northern China. The explosion killed at least 173 people and injured over 700 others. The blasts, which were caused by the unsafe storage of hazardous materials, also caused extensive damage to the city, leaving thousands of residents displaced and homes destroyed. The Tianjin explosions were one of the deadliest industrial accidents in modern Chinese history, drawing global attention to the safety standards of chemical plants and warehouses in the country. This disaster led to stricter regulations and improved oversight in industrial operations to prevent similar tragedies from occurring. 8. The 1994 Xinjiang floods. In 1994, the Xinjiang region of China faced devastating floods caused by excessive rainfall and the overflow of rivers. The region's infrastructure, agricultural fields, and homes were severely impacted, resulting in the loss of life and property. Over 1,000 people were killed, and millions of others were affected. The Xinjiang floods highlighted the importance of managing water resources and flood-prone areas. Since the disaster, China has implemented more robust flood control measures and improved early warning systems to protect communities living in flood-prone regions. However, heavy rainfall and flooding remain persistent threats in certain parts of the country. 9. The 1959 Great Leap Forward Famine. The Great Leap Forward, a socio-economic campaign initiated by the Chinese Communist Party in the late 1950s, led to one of the deadliest famines in Chinese history. The famine was exacerbated by poorly planned agricultural policies, forced collectivization, and disastrous crop failures. It is estimated that between 15 to 45 million people died due to starvation and malnutrition. While the campaign was intended to rapidly industrialize and modernize China, the consequences of mismanagement and flawed policies had catastrophic results. The famine remains a tragic period in China's history, and the lessons learned have shaped the nation's subsequent agricultural and economic policies. 10. The 2004 Indian Ocean Tsunami. While not directly caused by China, the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami had significant impacts on the country due to its geographical proximity. The tsunami, triggered by a massive undersea earthquake, affected countries along the Indian Ocean, including China's coastal regions. The disaster caused widespread destruction in areas like Hainan and Guangdong, leading to the loss of life and extensive damage to property. The tsunami underscored the need for better disaster preparedness along China's southern coastline, especially in light of the increasing frequency of natural disasters. In the aftermath, China focused on strengthening its disaster response and early warning systems, investing in coastal protection to safeguard its vulnerable regions. And there you have it, the 10 most devastating disasters in China's history. These tragedies have not only shaped the country's development, but have also left lasting legacies in terms of policy changes, disaster preparedness, and national awareness. While China has made significant progress in mitigating the risks of future disasters, the impact of these events is still felt today. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell